From the shining domicile that is Pittsburgh Comics, my old mannered comic shop owner Colin McMahon transforms into the world's greatest comic book talking TV host. Join us true believers for Comics Now!
Hey everybody, welcome to Comics Now for December 2024. As I wrote down, ho ho ho, it's the most wonderful time of the year. It's one of my favorite times where you get together with friends and family, you're seeing people, you're running around out in the cold and a little chill and a little hustle, but it's always a lot of fun. But also it's the time of year when you want to snuggle in on the sofa, get under a blanket and read. That's one of my favorite things to do. And we have so much stuff here for people to read, whether it's for yourself, whether it's for gifts. And if you're getting gifts for somebody and you don't know what to get them, we have gift certificates. So we have a full range of possibilities here. So come on down, we'll try to help you find stuff. Now, as far as in the comics world, lots of new stuff coming out. We are spotlighting this month, we're doing Mark Waid. He is a prolific author, been working hard since the 80s. We have Tim made a nice little display from Kingdom Come all the way up to the current Batman, Superman, World's Finest, and he just launched his new Justice League United book. So that's why we're spotlighting him, because he's kind of top of the DC list right now as far as authors. So come on down, we're going to do double points on Mark Waid books all month long. As far as graphic novels, we had to kick book club back 1 week. Because I didn't really want to do book club on Black Friday. So we haven't met yet. I don't know what book we're doing quite yet. So stay tuned. I'll post that online, what book we're doing for the end of December. Let's see. We did a big stock up on graphic novels to get ready, but we did get hit pretty hard on Black Friday. We'll get more in. But we have tons of stuff here for you to choose from. So now, new stuff coming out, lots and lots of good stuff, and we're going to start with what's coming from DC Comics. Coming from DC Comics this month, we have a new one, The New Gods, #1. Big old Kirby characters and story, and they're revamping it. This is by Ram V and Evan Cagle. An old god has died, and the reverberations of his passing are felt across the universe, setting forth the soldiers of an intergalactic army and awakening the latent powers of a mysterious child on Earth. But this has been foreseen, prophesied by the source, and fed as enigmatic images to its agent Metron. Now, as Metron brings word of this cosmos-shattering prediction to the residents of New Genesis and Apocalypse, both worlds are thrown into chaos and conflict. On Earth, Scott-Free and Barda find themselves unaware of this incoming chaos while consumed with their most daunting task yet, parenthood. Action Comics has 4 more issues of Mark Waid's weekly run, and it's going to wrap up at the end of December. We also have a new Challengers of the Unknown book, written by Christopher Cantwell, art by Sean Isaacs, who just got off Green Arrow. Spinning out of absolute power in the DC All-In Special, the terror of Darkseid Shockwave has cascaded across the DC universe, tearing open the very fabric of time and space itself. Only one band of super scientists have the right stuff to challenge the fate of a universe. Enter the Challengers of the Unknown. Alongside the Justice League, where the Challengers run day-to-day operations for the massive Watchtower base in orbit above Earth, Ace Morgan, June Robbins, Professor Haley, Red Ryan, and Rocky Davis must team with Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and the rest of the Justice League to seal the rifts that threaten the galaxy. But a mysterious foe from the Challengers' past lurks in the shadows, and its connection to the Godshock will put the DCU on borrowed time. We also have a Superwoman special. This is by Josh Williamson. The amazing story of how Daily Planet editor-in-chief Lois Lane got superpowers and became Superwoman is finally told. What does it mean for the matriarch of the super family to fly alongside her family and friends? And how long will these powers last? And who wants these powers for themselves? There's a Batman Dark Patterns. This is by Dan Waters and Hayden Sherman. Set during the early years of Batman's career, this story delves into 4 mysterious cases as he attempts to cement his place as Gotham City's protector, while the city itself fights back against him. This is the Dark Knight detective at his most stripped-down core, a man relying on his wits, his skills, and little else as he tackles some of the most twisted mysteries Gotham City and its protector have ever encountered. We also have a Two-Face miniseries. This is by Christian Ward. After years of internal conflict, both halves of Harvey Dent have reached an uneasy peace. Now Harvey will use his skills as an attorney to resolve the conflicts of Gotham's weirdest and most dangerous criminals, starting with Victor Zsasz. When Zsasz is accused of murdering a fellow member of Gotham's underworld contingent, who better to prove a criminal's innocence than someone who's been on both sides of the law? We have a Metamorpho series, Metamorpho the Element Man by Al Ewing and Steve Lieber. To know him is to love him, the fab freak who can change himself into any element in the human body. He's the one and only Rex Mason, alias Metamorpho. But can even he win out against Cyclops, the hairy eyeball of crime that gazes from the top of the pop charts to the lowest depths of evil, and even into the far-off, far-out Ra realm? To find out, the Element Man must survive a hand-picked assassin who can match him change for change. We also have a Green Lantern, Green Arrow World's Finest special, written by Jeremy Adams, who's writing Green Lantern right now. Everyone's favorite hard-traveling heroes are back and brought to you through the iconic lens of World's Finest. In the not-too-distant past, Oliver Queen and Hal Jordan find themselves at a crossroads, and only teaming up together once more will save them from the scope of the mysterious bounty hunter known as in whispered tones throughout the underworld as Deathstroke the Terminator. Facsimile editions from DC this month are Flash Comics #1, which is the first appearance of Jay Garrick, Crisis on Infinite Earths 9, and Green Lantern 59, which is the first appearance of Guy Gardner. We also get this month DC's Batman Smells Robin Laden Egg #1, which is their holiday special. Now on to the good stuff coming from Marvel Comics. Lots of good stuff coming from Marvel this month. First up is Time Slide One-Shot. What is the fate of the Marvel Universe? An X-Man from the future arrives in the present with a dire warning. One of mutant kind's most hyper-advanced foes is eating his way through time, trying to stop the X gene from ever evolving in the first place. Only 2 X-Men can stop this. Chronal Predator from achieving his goal, if they can tolerate working together long enough. Join Bishop and Cable on a trip through futures past, present, and beyond. It's your first look at the most unforgettable stories of 2025 begin here. We also have a new Wolverine book, Laura Kinney Wolverine. Wolverine takes the fight to those who stand as enemies of mutant kind. Laura Kinney was bred to be the ultimate assassin as X-23. She's long left that life behind, but as she encounters mutants being forced to use their powers against their will, Wolverine takes it upon herself to right these wrongs, no matter who stands in her way. We also have an all-new Venom. This is by Al Ewing and Carlos Gomez. We just had the big Venom War, and it's come down to this. The smiling, swashbuckling spider hero New York loves to hate, and hates to love, is back, and even more fun-loving than ever. That's right, it's Venom? An all-new host is taking the symbiote in a whole new direction. But who? It could be the journalist, the terrorist, the sidekick, or even the mayor. We're giving you all the clues, good believers, but you won't know until the mask comes off. We also have Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man by Christos Gage. This is a prequel to the all-new animated series. In Marvel's Animation's new series, we find Peter Parker is still finding his footing on his journey to becoming the Spider-Man we all know and love. In this series, you can take the very first steps along with him as he discovers his powers, decides to become a hero, and even picks his name and costume. Now, Peter's got to survive an entire freshman year as a newbie crime-fighting vigilante. And if you think you know how this story goes, you are in for a surprise. We also have Infinity Watch. Who is the most powerful? Sorry, Thor. Sorry, Hulk. These are the 7 most powerful people in the universe, each wielding one of the embodiments of all power in existence, the Infinity Stones. Half of the stone bearers are villains, and the other half certainly aren't Hall of Fame heroes. So what does this mean for the Marvel Universe? If Star has anything to say about it, we can start calling it the Star Universe. Can Colleen Wing or Phil Coulson possibly tilt the balance towards good? We also have a new TVA series. The Time Variance Authority has long watched over the timeline, protecting it from dangerous variations that could cause the end of everything. Now, as the organization begins to expand its tolerance of variance, it's enlisted some new recruits from timelines that have been wiped from existence. Captain Peggy Carter, super soldier of her world. Gambit, despondent and aimless. from the loss of his lady love. And this can't be right. Spider-Gwen? Has her world been destroyed? Holiday-wise, Marvel has a holiday Tales to Astonish, holiday hijinks in the Mighty Marvel Manor. We also have a Kidpool and Spider-Boy one-shot. Your favorite foul-mouthed adolescent, Kidpool, is back in comic book form, starring alongside the biggest debut character in recent memory, Spider-Boy. Will the adolescent arachnid be able to keep the murderous middle grader from causing the return of the Comics Code? We also have a new Hellverine book written by Benjamin Percy. It's hellfire-fueled, claw-slashing action in the Mighty Marvel Manor as Hellverine blazes a new path across the Marvel Universe. The demon Bagra Ghul possessed Wolverine, turning him into a killing machine. But Logan is no stranger to caging the beast within his soul, and the demon learned his heroic ways. Now it's resurrected Akahiro, and the two must learn to live as one, the Hellverine. But they can't do it alone. Enter Doctor Strange. We also have Hell Hunters. This is by Philip Kennedy Johnson and Adam Gorham. Ghost Rider 1944. As U.S. Sergeant Sal Romero is parachuting into Nazi-occupied Europe, young Nazi officer Felix Bruckner becomes the host for an unspeakable evil. In the aftermath of their violent meeting, Romero is reborn as Ghost Rider 44, who sets out not only to take revenge on Bruckner and the Nazis, but to save mankind from annihilation. Ultimate Universe 1 year in has a one-shot. Dennis Camp flips the narrative on Ultimates and takes us inside the Maker's Council. The heroes of the Ultimate Universe aren't the only ones who have been preparing for the return of the Maker, and the clock is ticking down. This unique one-shot sets the stage for a second year of the Ultimate line and includes the debut of Ultimate versions of two major characters. Sabretooth is back in a new miniseries by Frank Thierry. Sabretooth, The Dead Don't Talk. Sabretooth is dead, but his past is alive and lethal. A person alive in the 1900s seen in a picture on the wall of New York City's oldest tavern? Yes. A feared gangster and murderer who rose to power among the notorious gangs of New York? Yes. And also, perhaps most shockingly of all, none other than Sabretooth. Join us and Wolverine as we uncover this secret, untold chapter from the life of Logan's greatest foe in a tale of violence, betrayal, shocking reveals, and more violence. Sabretooth may be dead, but the secrets from his past and the ways in which they may affect Wolverine in the present are very much alive. We also have Deadpool Wolverine Weapon Extraction. It's a one-shot putting together all the pages that were in many of the Marvel books over the last year. When Wolverine and Deadpool are called upon to save the universe, we can absolutely rely on them to totally screw things up. Featuring fearsome battles and fights across space and time, starring two men who cannot be killed, no matter how fearsome the battles are. Marvel's facsimile editions this month are Amazing Spider-Man 263, Secret Wars 12, and Captain America 117, which is the first appearance of the Falcon. We also have Pet Pool Party one-shot. How many pet pools does it take to collect a comic? Find out in this oversized fan-favorite comic collecting every installment of Dogpool, Catpool, Mousepool, and Dogpool Team-Up Infinity comic. We also have an Alligator Loki holiday special. And lastly, there's a new Alien book, Alien Paradiso. Now here's what's coming from Image Comics. First up is Dust to Dust from J.G. Jones. An unforgettable yarn of desperation, murder, and resilience. This is a beautifully hand-painted story of Americana in the primal grip of brutality. In the darkest days of the Great Depression, death stalks the Dust Bowl. As towering dust storms blast the parched Oklahoma panhandle, farmers try to flee the failing town of New Hope, but no one gets far. Battling his own demons, Sheriff Meadows teams up with Sarah, a traveling photojournalist, in a desperate fight to stop a serial killer on the loose, the death that rides in the dusters. So I have Doll Parts, which is a lovesick tale, a twisted new entry in the lovesick universe. 12-year-old Madeline dreads the idea of growing up. She fears becoming like the cruel older girls or facing the contempt of her devoutly religious mother. But most of all, she doesn't want to become a target for the monsters that are out there, hiding in plain sight. However, a stomach-churning discovery forces her to confront the harsh reality that growing up isn't a choice, it's survival. We also have a Creepshow holiday special. We have Dread the Halls one-shot. It's the perfect holiday stocking stuffer, a collection of horror tales to read curled up by the light of the Yule log. Top Cow is also giving us a holiday special. We have Freddy the Fix one-shot. This is by Garth Ennis and Mike Perkins. Hollywood After Dark. Werewolves, vampires, zombies, aliens, boogeymen, predators, and things. They all have their kinks and they all get in trouble. They all call Freddy to fix it. The horror-skewed intersection of The Boys and Ray Donovan. So I have Juvenile #1. In a future where a deadly virus kills everyone upon reaching adulthood, teenagers are confined to massive medical facilities until a mysterious new patient arrives and reveals a shocking secret. A couple new ones from Dark Horse Comics this month. We have one, Behemoth. When a giant monster attacks a city and swallows a bus full of civilians, one woman must fight for her life. Trapped inside the enormous beast, Sarah and her fallen bus passengers see that they're not alone. But what dangers lie within the belly of this beast, and who or what will they have to contend with in order to survive? We also have Ripperland. The year is 2188, and Jack the Ripper has returned to London. For the last century, a shattered post-Brexit England has operated as a massive Victorian theme park in exchange for American military and financial protection. But when an American mogul's grandson is killed in the heart of London, the delicate status quo is threatened. Is the killer a brilliant maniac? Americans taking advantage of their superior technology? Or the English underground resistance wishing to throw off the yoke of American oppression and rejoin the modern world? They have a new Star Wars The Bad Batch Ghost Agent series coming. And Those Not Afraid, a new crime series from Kyle Starks for fans of true crime and murder fiction. Two serial killers discover they are within reach of the state record for kills and enter a terrible competition to see who gets there first. And now for the rest of the companies. Boom Studios has a couple new ones. First is In Bloom. 43% of the cells within a healthy human body belong to something other than the human host. Microbiomes, invasive bacteria, fungal and viral agents, and something else, something more. When the bloom happened, humanity was changed forever, transformed by a symbiotic fungal megasystems that infected their bodies. Some affected people grew new body parts. Some found their personalities changed in radical new ways, while others reported contact with some other intelligence not their own. In this revolutionary new world, Agent Bayonetta finds herself investigating a series of mysterious murders, a chain of violence that lends her to a terrifying question on the fate of every living being rests. The Book of Cutter, as it crosses its 5th anniversary, the Slaughterverse unveils one of the darkest chapters yet in this oversized one-shot, exploring the brand new facet to the mythos of monsters and the ones who hunt them. There's a Jim Henson Presents series. The iconic work of Jim Henson birthed some of the most beloved series and characters of all time. Celebrate that rich history with this anthology of all new tales set in the world of Jim Henson. And then we have a new Flavor Girls Return to Mothership series. Dynamite has a few new ones. We have Thundercats Apex #1. Across the desert landscape, a cloaked rider emerges from the shimmering heat. A lone figure on a battered mount, he's a tempting target for bandits, and temptation is not something that inhabitants of these badlands are inclined to resist. Unfortunately for the miscreants who decide to waylay him, that choice will likely be the last one they ever make. But who is the mysterious stranger, and what is the threat or the target that he has fixed his glowing red eye on? We also have a Gargoyles Winter Special, a Powerpuff Girls Winter Snowdown Showdown, and a Vampirella Holiday 2024 Special. Distillery has a new one. Through the Boughs, a Yuletide offering of Frozen Tales, little anthology book. And also Warm Fusion, a sci-fi horror mystery that pushes the limits of the grotesque. New York City, over 2 decades into the future, has been devastated by crime, ongoing storms, radiation from a terrorist incident in Times Square, and the genetic mutations caused by a life-saving cure. After a series of murders rip through the city's brothels, an escort named Vin Young, who cosplays as Snow White and is one of the generation of deformed victims, decides to help find the killer or killers responsible, reluctantly joining the forces with the lone cop assigned to the case. The two are led to a biotech megacorp launching a cellular metal called Warm Fusion, and soon confront the sociopathic scientist and his monstrous alter ego in the hideous monster that he's been secretly creating. Ahoy Comics gives us Archaic. Meet Tess, a broke single mom desperate to protect her kids from vicious criminals trying to collect on her ex-husband's debts. Following a mysterious message, Tess flees to the mysterious island of Demond, a place of demons, legendary creatures, and a family secret that just might cost Tess her life. Alien Books gives us a new Nexus series, Nexus Scourge, written by creator Mike Barron. Nexus enters a new era with classic characters and an all-new villain that's destroying the universe one planet at a time. American mythology has Nosferatu Nightmares. In 1922, a vision of horror was unleashed upon the world, and a century later, its haunting imagery still influences modern horror. This frightful anthology gives today's authors and artists an opportunity to tap into that primal terror and deliver Nosferatu vampiric tales inspired by the glorious silent black and white monster that has woven nightmares into our collective subconscious for decades. Mad Cave has a couple. We have Long Cold Winter. In the not too distant future, the air on Earth has become unbreathable. However, a multinational company called Airco has constructed generators that provide oxygen for those that can afford it. Peace Dog, a desperate ex-soldier who has been willing to do anything to obtain breathable air and is haunted by his past and hunted by bounty hunters, though he may have found a way out of his current predicament by helping a mysterious robot child escape the dangerous and congested city. But someone from his past has no intention of letting him leave alive. And Missing on the Moon. The year is 1997 and crime on the moon runs rampant. And in the lunar colony of Buzztown, a billionaire's daughter has just gone missing. Washed-up private investigator Daniel Schwinn is tasked with finding the missing child, but in the process discovers a dark conspiracy stemming back decades. Schwinn will have to navigate a world of undead drug addicts, mechanized Robocops, and blue-skinned Soviets known as Darksiders to discover the truth. In doing so, he'll have to confront his own allegiances and try to atone for past mistakes since resurfaced. And lastly, we have a new one from Oni Press. Shiver Suspense Stories, another holiday season anthology. Terror comes calling with 56 pages of shocking chills in an all-star cast of EC's finest fiends. So lots of goodies, lots of holiday specials this month, not surprisingly, but everybody seems to be doing it. And we have lots, and the regular books are still going on. DC has relaunched or restarted most of their books, and I think we're just into month 2 or 3 at this point. Marvel has a ton of new series already started, and you can jump on at any time. For December, we're focusing on the works of Mark Waid. We don't know what we're doing for book club yet, but we'll let you know. If you have any questions, the website's pittsburghcomics.com, Facebook is Pittsburgh Comics, Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky are PGH Comics. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for Comic Previews Theater. See ya.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the city, there is one fellow out who was acting quite Dr. Doom had come to town, and this year's hot toy was actually a hot toy.
Ha ha ha.
Behind the mask, there was grinning, for the crime spree was just beginning.
Happy Hanukkah, Ben. It's a neat fluke of the calendar that starts on Christmas Eve this year.
Aw, thanks, Johnny. I never get tired of this little tradition of ours. And Merry Christmas to yous, you old lovable so-and-so.
Is everybody here?
You know it.
Gosh, I never spent Hanukkah away from home before, much less with mutant superheroes like the X-Men.
Is this White Christmas you're doing, Storm?
It's not Christmas yet, Professor. Let's just call it holiday magic.
Holiday magic. Bahamba, Bob.
You don't like the holidays, Wolverine?
It's all one holiday, kid. Folks celebrating that they lived to see another day. When you've lived as much as I have, those days start bleeding together. Come back with something stronger than cocoa, kid.
Ah, there you are, Li Chen. Do not worry about Harlow again. He is like the Grinch of Scrooges, yeah?
Look what I found in the professor's decorations. It's the first night, is it not? This might make you feel more like home.
Oh, Kurt, it's beautiful. We have a menorah just like it back in Deerfield. Oh, but I didn't get you anything. Or, for what matter, for Wolverine, Storm, Angel, Colossus, or the Professor?
You worry too much, Mina Kleine. There's no way you could disappoint us.
Easy for the real X-Men to say. My first Hanukkah on a teen and I'm blowing it. Hopefully, there's time to do some shopping this week.
A profound wish and a dangerous one when tempting the fates of.
New Year's resolution number 1. Get a jump on things. Which is why I'm starting my resolutions a whole day early. New Year's resolution number 2. Always have a plan. So I'ma pick my girl up at 8. Hey, Tiana.
Miles Morales, you cleaned up nice.
Take her to her favorite sushi spot. Then it's up to the best seats in the city for the ball drop. New Year's resolution number 3. Be in the moment. She'll want to cuddle to keep warm. Maybe even kiss. Best New Year's Eve ever. Well, that was the plan anyway.
Miles, I'm so sorry.
Aw, there's nothing to be sorry about. How about I bring you some soup?
No, I'm going straight to bed. You go have fun.
New Year's resolution number 4. No matter what goes down, keep it chill.
Miles, that you? It's Kenny from the coffee shop.
Kenny! Yeah, hey! I thought you'd be with,
Oh, Shelly? She had to go to Maryland to babysit her sister's puppy. I had to work. Listen, a bunch of baristas are getting together for our annual certified countdown. If you've got no plans.
a coffee party with a guy I barely know?